from the land down under, where the sun is hot and bright, beaches cool and waves of thunder. Morning turns to golden night. So much there is to see, my friend, from the city to the shore. Grab a stool, we'll find an end to keep us wanting more. Down under's calling, can't you hear? Echoes in the breeze, feel the magic everywhere, in the rustling of the trees. Mountains rise and rivers flow, adventures wait around. Meet the world on a winding road in every little town. Oh, the land, it seems to me, with a tune as wild as sea, hands up high and voices free. Down under's where I'll be. Down under's calling, can't you hear?
G'day folks, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. As you can see right now I'm traveling solo. Ilana is on her way. She's just running a couple of errands. As soon as she's completed with those errands, she will join us and into the show we go. A couple of things I want to just get started with. Today is a rather auspicious day. A couple of things are happening. Number one, we've got a new guest to be interviewed. No, it's not me in the background. We'll get to see who that is. We're just waiting on that particular person to get themselves all organised and ready to rock and roll. So we'll just wait and see what happens there. But the other thing is, today we are commemorating 2 years since Dad passed, and it is exactly 2 years today. So yeah, we're feeling a little bit down on the weather, so to speak. But hey, hopefully the next person who comes up and joins us in our chat today will give us a bit of a heads up. And we will, sorry about that. It seems like somebody forgot to turn their mic off. We just hope that they don't start whistling. Yeah, that's a bit of a worry, that one. Oh, wait a minute, there's the doorbell. Well, hopefully, maybe we might be lucky enough and just get to see who it is. G'day, Chris. How you going?
Hey, what's going on?
Good, thank you. Hey, mate, listen, just a heads up. Next time you go to the bathroom, can you make sure that the mic is switched off?
I'll do my best.
Oh, sorry about that. That's cool. Okay. How you going, buddy?
You know, it's always a good day. Come on, pal. We just got back from a huge fundraiser,
Yep.
with my motorcycle group, so that was cool.
Yep. How'd that work?
Hey, I tell you what, if you can find a way to raise, a little over $2,000 in an hour, bam, that's the way to go.
Mate, that's exciting. Hey, a couple of things I wanted to just bring up very quickly. First of all, thank you for your service, not only as a member of the military personnel, but also from the fire authority, and more importantly, as a treasurer of Helping Hands.
Wait, I'm the treasurer?
Well, somebody put your name on all the money.
Oh, well, all right.
But thank you for your service.
Well, a lot of people get really weirded out, when you walk up to them and say, "Hey, thank you for your service." And what I learned a totally different phrase that means a lot more than saying, "Oh, well, thank you." This and that,
Yep. What's that phrase?
So let's try that again.
Well, I'm waiting
Go
for
ahead.
the heads up on what the phrase is.
No, I'll give you the phrase. Say thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Thank you for your
service.
service.
You were worth it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
So I found that to be more powerful. You
It
know what I
is.
mean?
That is an incredibly powerful statement, because what that does is it puts people into perspective about where
Yes.
things are at.
and why you do it.
Correct. G'day, Nick. Welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here.
G'day, Chris, by the way.
It was also 2 years ago, right now, that Nick was in Oz.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Roxy,
Wow.
g'day. Welcome aboard. G'day, Mike. How you going, buddy? Nice to see you on board. Okay, bit of history, Chris.
Yes.
I'm looking at the pictures behind you and us, and I see two people there. One in a fire suit, the other one in a military uniform. First of all, what branch of the service and when?
Well, it was the Army from 1984 to 1996.
Well, that's a long run.
Wow, that's a long time.
Well, my goal was to actually, do 20 years, but, there were certain events that just did not allow that.
And then you went into the fire service after that.
That one was more of a volunteer, if you want to call it that, paid on call
Yep.
type of deal, and through that, I learned how to be the training officer for, the group, and that's how I got involved with that. But what I really did with the fire service was more just a driver, getting a rig from point A to point B.
Yep.
And then all the smoke eaters would do what they do.
Yep. There was something I was going to ask you about. Currently, you have, but you haven't quite left the military services, because you work as a civilian within the industry.
Yes, yes. I have been doing what I do, and I can't go into a whole lot, but for 35, 36 years.
So
The biggest, go ahead.
I was going to say, so really, you haven't left the services.
In a lot of ways, no. And then I also work with another group with veteran support, and so yeah, that's the one thing. And a lot of people don't understand it, but once you're in the military, you're really never out of it. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of like a drug. Would you agree with that?
In some sense, yes.
Now, I can understand it when you say it's always in you, because it's either in here or it's in here in some ways.
Well, exactly correct. I don't know a better way to really explain that. It's you got to go back to anybody in the military, and anybody who's watching that's ever been in the military, they'll understand this. When you get into basic training, the first week that you're in basic training, what they're doing is they're not beating, but they're breaking you down, so that they can get you to a certain point that they can rewire you and bring you up to be the best that where your job is. So, it's kind of a goofy way to say it, but that's what they do.
So, if we're looking at somebody who's in combat, and a circumstance arises while you're in combat, you really have to be in a position where you're not waiting on orders, but you can make your own, correct?
In a lot of ways, yes. But what your brain is automatically going to do, it's going to go back to your initial training, and you're just going to react. You're not going to think about it. You're going to just react.
Just do. So you become like the machine you're part of.
In a sense, yes.
So the
you know.
biggest issue with people coming out of the military and going into civilian life, what does that do to them?
The the biggest issue with people like that is the military is very structured. You know, we get up at 0400, we start our day, we move on, and there's a lot of truth to you'll see different television commercials or you'll hear people, you know, that the military does more before 6 o'clock in the morning than the average person does during the entire day.
Yep.
There's a lot of truth to that because, you know, 0400, that's for you non-military, that's 4 o'clock in the morning. You're up and moving,
Yep.
and you're getting your tasks done. You so and it's very, you know, structure, you know, you have hierarchy that you report to, you have certain jobs that you have to have done by a certain time. Everything is very structured. When you get out of the military, the one thing that is not there is that structure you're used to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to unwire themselves from that,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Okay, so
Yes,
so let me ask
absolutely.
you this then: going from the military into the fire service, is there the same amount of discipline or structure?
In a lot of ways, yes. You know, like I said, what I wasn't a, if you want to call it a smoke eater, you know, I was more a driver of the different vehicles. So I would be able to take a vehicle from point A to point B, and then the smoke eaters could do what they do.
Yep.
You know, I would run communications. I would run, you know, take inventory of personnel. I would help the several different fire chiefs that were on the ground running a fire scene. You know, that's what I would do.
Yep.
And so I was more of a paid on call type of person. So that was 24 hours a day. I could get, you know, called at 2 o'clock in the morning for a fire,
Yep. Yep.
you know,
Yep.
but stuff like that. Yeah.
So let me run into the chat really quickly. We just had Shannon come and join us. She
Hi,
said
Shannon.
g'day. And then Shannon answered the one question that we made was the structure. And then she went on to say that her daughter had a very difficult time adjusting to being home and not having a schedule, especially planned meal times.
That was probably one of the roughest things, you know, because the schedule that you are on when you're in the military, I mean, it's down to the minute, you know, it pretty close to the minute.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you know where you're supposed to be. You know that there's going to be a meal in front of you at this time. You know that you have to be there. Yeah.
right, right.
Your 24 hours is basically planned for you. And yeah, can imagine what it can do when you're in free fall after.
And that's like I said, that's one of the things that people when they get out have the most difficult time because that structure's just not there anymore. And a lot of them have a hard time readapting, you know, to civilian life. And believe it or not, some of them will actually turn around and go back in because they don't know what to do.
Very quickly, g'day Ross, welcome aboard, buddy.
Hey, Ross.
He salutes to you, and he says, "What's up to everybody else?" So nice to see you on board. As an observation, being in civilian life right now, but with the military bent, do you kind of feel that you're part of the military from that respect?
Well, Yes, just because of what I do for a living.
Yep.
I I I'm a civilian and I work for the military.
Right.
So I still have that structure, but not as though I was in the military. There's a lot more leeway, but yeah, so you see it and I work with people that are in, so it's all around me.
So, silly question from the not knowing. Do the enlisted salute you?
Me, I am what they call a non-commissioned officer.
Yep.
And it's a known fact. And like I said, anybody who's ever been in will understand this. A non-commissioned officer actually works for a living, where a commissioned officer just barks orders, but
Yep.
the non-commissioned officer does what they need to get done.
Yep. The question though is, do you get the rank salute?
No.
Now,
Okay.
There you go.
now we've got that cruise coming up, and that's what this whole session is all about. We've got that cruise coming up in 2028. From your side of the fence, how do you and I treat you as an active member of the force, because you're, even though you're doing it as a civilian, to me you're an active member of that. How do you see the benefit of the cruise to somebody who's spent time in and come out and are not actually at their best?
Wow. And that's really a great question. I wish I had time to prepare. But anybody who goes on, anybody who's been on a cruise before, the cruise lines, no matter which ones they are, they really, 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 honestly, they take care of their military members. They have all kinds of different military meetups. In fact, when we went on the R&R last year, I went to one of them.
Yeah,
I could not believe how many people were in that auditorium. I was just blown away,
yeah,
you know. So you start seeing different faces, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you might be by the pool, or you might be up at the bar getting a drink, or those of us that have bad habits, you might be out having a smoke, and you actually start making friends, and you start talking to each other, and you you share stories.
you build relationships.
So, and yeah, you're building the relationship. I mean, on when we were on the R&R, all right, I tell you what, I built a relationship with one, two, three people that even today I still talk to, that are actually planning to go on the 2028 cruise.
Wonderful.
That's incredible. Hey, Shannon puts in there, she would imagine that the peacefulness would be incredibly impactful.
It could be, but I think that's going to depend solely on your mindset. You know, some people, let's go back to our last recipient, Dan,
Yep,
okay? First responder.
yep,
He really enjoyed that peacefulness when he wanted it,
yep,
okay? Take me, for instance, all right? I'm a go, 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 go person,
yep,
you know? And if I feel I need some space, I'll just go find space.
yep.
It'll, however short or long it would be, but that's every single person's going to be different.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question that's interesting, because a lot of people will say, people go into the military and they come out damaged, or this, that, and the next thing. Military's not always bad, correct?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not nuts.
Matter of opinion.
Well,
No,
all right, I am, but okay. You know, all right, all right. That I set you up on that one.
you did.
Never make that a question, Chris. Make that a statement. I'm not nuts.
I, all right, you can quote me on that one. But ask my wife; she'll tell you something totally different.
Correct.
And you guys know my wife. No,
Yep.
but no, not every person comes out damaged. No, not at all. It and damage is such a wide, array of anything.
Yep.
So it's really what is the definition, if you want.
And damage can occur from anything, whether you're a first aid trainer or a firefighter or a military person or whatever.
Could be anybody, depending on their
But
circumstances,
I had to ask.
Correct. Yeah.
Uh,
Take
Crystal's in the chat and she says good day and she's laughing at your
Crystal.
jokes and I don't know why because none of your jokes. Okay, I'll move on. The next question is so we've got an intention of having 10 recipients on board that cruise.
sure.
Acting as treasurer from HH4C, what does it cost to put somebody on board a cruise ship?
There's so many different aspects that go into that number, if you want to call it. Because you got to think, you got, cruise fare, you got travel, you've got expenses. There's so many different things. And travel could mean, since we are going out of Canaveral,
Yep,
that much I think we know.
yep,
yes.
Somebody could live right there and there's not going to be any travel.
yep,
Somebody could live in California and you're going to have that travel,
yep,
to get there. So it's really going to depend. So what I did as the treasurer, I took the lowest to the highest and then I said, let's average it together.
yep,
And let's say, so the average that I'm looking at is roughly $5,000 per recipient.
and that's
Because you got to
including.
think, a recipient is generally two people.
Yep,
So, so that's what the average is going to be 5,000. Some is going to be lower, some is going to be higher.
but what does that include when you look at it that way?
Well, that, like I said, that includes, the cruise fare because everything's done on double occupancy.
Yep,
The airfare, you got to get them there
yep,
if they need the airfare.
yep,
And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we give the recipient like $100 or $150 spending money on the ship.
yep. That's correct.
Things like that. So, what did I miss?
Hotel before.
Hotel before if needed.
Hotel before, yes.
It's not home port. Yep.
Shannon is saying that she thinks.
And right, the hotel the day after if it's needed.
Yeah. Shannon is saying that she thinks her daughter suffered more from her MOS training than actual active duty.
Well, in some ways I can see that.
Can I just
But,
ask you, what does MOS stand for? Sorry, for those who don't know. MOS?
Say what?
MOS?
MOS is military occupational specialty.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
What's your job? Your job.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
No, that's a great question. A lot of people don't know.
No. Well, having not been in the military,
Well, we
Sometimes.
don't speak in abbreviations, do we? I mean, seriously, ARVO and HH4C, well, that's another abbreviation. Yeah. Okay. So we've got We've got the costs of the cruises to go ahead. What sort of activities do you think we'll have on board this cruise? I know there's one that's one of
Well,
my pets.
I think that we are, in talking to Bruce,
Yep.
I think we're going to work hand in hand with them on a lot of different things.
Yep.
Because your normal cruise is going to have military meetups and such. And I think that with what we're trying to do, we're going to expand on that. We're going to have specific events, whatever those may be. They haven't even been talked about yet,
Yep.
you know, for those military people.
I know
And
we're
whether we open it up,
talking about having a room set aside for like a sanctuary that people can go to and have a bit of
yes,
fun time.
right. We had talked about that, and so I do know that we're going to work heavily with the cruise line, and because we want everybody, whether it's military, first responder, Gold Star. Oh my God, the Gold Stars. Those people have given everything.
Yes. So
You know, you know.
I'm glad you mentioned the gold stars. Give us a bit more of a heads up on the gold stars and what they can expect.
The Gold Stars. Those, for if you don't know, those are families who have lost a member of their family in military conflict or things that I really don't want to mention. If and I'm sure you can figure that out.
Yep.
Yes, we can.
You know, uh, because they have suffered the
The ultimate.
ultimate. You know. So I think having them on, it's gonna allow them some of that respite. Meeting other people. They can talk about whether it's a spouse, a loved one, a child, you know, that was lost. It's going to allow them to talk and share their story and their memory and just opening up talking is unbelievably powerful.
Yeah.
I guarantee you will see people, they'll be talking and they'll be in tears, then there'll be hugs, it's going to be a great time.
It will. It will. Ross has just come up with a comment there. He thinks that on the cruise, a gift of a challenge coin commemorating the cruise should be given to the recipients.
I love the idea. I never even thought of that, but that, Ross, that is a spot on.
Yep, we'll note that, absolutely.
I'm confused.
What are you confused
No,
about?
in the military, we have challenge coins.
Yep.
Um, every unit, every branch, they all have their different ones.
Yep.
And it's a coin. I wish I had one in my right here in front of me to show you. But I've got several. And it's a coin that you carry around with you and you show off, but more so challenge coins.
Yep.
Here's the thing. If you're like I'm with the American Legion, okay?
Yep.
We'll go to the American Legion bar, if you want to call it that.
Yep.
Well, that's what it is, really. And on certain days of the year, you'll have a bunch of veterans from every organization, sitting around the bar having a beer, and all of a sudden you hear a coin hit the deck.
Yep.
That's just a sign that anybody sitting at that bar that's former military needs to pull out a coin and put it down.
Oh, that's cool.
And the weakest coin, because every coin has a value.
Yep.
The one that's, I guess if you want to call it voted lowest,
Yep.
they have to buy a round for everybody.
So we're quite lucky here because we don't have 1 cent coins, so we're fine.
Yeah, see, but so I bet you, on the Heroes Cruise, I bet you'll see that at
Yeah.
least once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Michael Ann likes the idea.
yeah, I think that's a great idea. I know somebody who designs coins,
Oh, that's cool.
so I can actually reach out to him and see if maybe he can design something for us.
That'd be awesome. Ross is busy lurking right now. He's having an antibiotic IV.
How's your foot coming along, Ross? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, let's hope everything goes in the right direction. Shannon is going, we don't have 1 cent coins anymore either. So you guys have lost them too. That's good.
But I am perplexed. I'm sorry. I'm getting back to your coinage. Why you call them pennies?
Yeah, that's
when
right.
you use dollars and cents.
Correct.
It always baffles me. Oh, pennies. There you go, Michael Ann. You've just said the word pennies. Why is it pennies? Dollars. It's not. You don't use pennies when you talk about dollars. It's 100 cents.
We don't use that. We don't use pennies anymore here either.
So let me just say, we have a privilege of actually talking with Chris, and I don't know, Chris, close your ears for 30 seconds. I don't know if anybody's had the opportunity to actually be on board a cruise with Chris. First of all, it's really, really interesting. And those who are on the R&R will understand what we mean by R. It's artistic and rather perfect. But I want to say that all the people that we had on board that have had some opportunity to be with Chris and other like-minded people on board the cruise have had an absolutely amazing time, and we feel honoured and privileged to be in their presence. Although I don't want to say too much because Chris is not only taller than me, his head will be bigger than mine.
Way taller than you.
Yeah.
Yes, we won't give Chris.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
just contain your head, Chris. Don't. Yeah, keep it. Kelly will keep you on track. Crack the whip, Kelly.
Oh, absolutely, she will.
Shannon is saying 1 cent is a penny,
Yes.
5 cents is a nickel, 10 cents is a dime, 25 cents is a quarter. Why? And Michael Ango's got pics and video of you.
Sure you have.
Crystal says, if you could send one message to everyone watching about supporting veterans, active military, and first responders, what would it be?
If I could send one message to everyone, wow, that's a really good question. Is a lot of people, I think, take these folks for granted. Don't. You don't always have to get up in their face and say, hey, thanks for everything that you do. But it's a respect thing. Just respect them because take the military and, well, more so the first responders to your police and fire.
Yeah.
Okay. They get up in the morning, they go to work. They don't know if they're coming home that day.
Yeah.
Their families don't know. So that's a ton of respect right there because they are willing to put their lives down, to make your world better. The military's a lot the same way. You don't have to be in a combat situation for things to go badly.
Correct.
So these guys, they go to work and they don't know. So it's respect, I think.
Tell me something from your point of view in terms of support. What are your support services like? in terms
There
for
are
all these
so many.
agencies?
Yeah, there are so many different support agencies out there. You've got the Veterans Administration. They're primarily going to look at medical and making sure you're healthy and like that after you get out. But outside of that, you've got there's so many advocacy groups. There's mental health groups that all they they get together. In fact, I'm going to be on one of those groups at my time, 1:30 in the morning. Okay, and it's just a talk group.
Mhm.
I think Crystal's hubby Matt has been in that one before, and it's just a bunch of veterans getting together, or veteran spouses sharing stories, getting answers. So there's so much out there, and that's the thing that people need to look at is don't think you're alone. Go out there. There's so much that can help you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good to know.
Crystal asks a very important question, and that is why should someone watching seriously consider joining us on the Heroes Cruise 2028?
Because it's going to be a great time. Whether you're a veteran or not, or whether you're a first responder or not, whether you're a gold star or not, it's going to be a great time. And
When
you're
is a
going to
cruise
be able
never
to,
a great time?
you say what?
When is a cruise never a great time? It's always a great
This is
time.
going to be an extraordinarily great time.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
I I I foresee this as being probably one of the best cruises that anyone could go on
yeah. And
because of the people.
the people, yeah. And if it creates enough of a momentum, it would be something worth having every year or every couple of years or wherever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this thing is going to be bigger than what a lot of us think it's going to be. You know, I really do. I I hope it is.
Yes. Thank
Michael
you.
Ann is saying it will be a great opportunity to show respect and gratitude for the service they've provided.
Yeah, agreed. Whether it's the recipients themselves or any other, veterans, first responders, and gold stars that are on the ship at the same time.
Shannon
I,
says she forgot to mention where she's watching from. She's actually in Nashville with Gina
Oh,
Gwynn. So,
lovely. Wow.
Gina, thank you very
Thank
much for
you.
coming in and
That's
actually
appreciate.
taking the time to learn from the organisation. These are the people we're dealing with, and these are the types of cruises that we try to put on. The base aim, as Chris will attest to, is to change people's lives and make them feel whole again, wanted and loved at the end of the day.
Yep.
and I think that the first group cruise that I went on was the R&R,
Yep,
and our recipient then,
Dan was
what
amazing.
an amazing man. You
Such
know,
a
And we could have 10 times, 10 Dans, 10 times
that'd
that.
be
More would be
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. Tell
oh
you what I
oh
do
my
want to do.
God, yes.
I'll tell you what I do want to do at some time is actually do an interview session with a Gold Star family, just to get their idea on what they expect from a cruise like this.
I might have an idea for you. We'll talk
Talk to us.
offline about that.
Yep, that'd be awesome. Ross is done with therapy. Who won, the needle or you? Okay,
Well,
so
it wasn't him.
yeah, it wasn't him. He's back again. So For any young person wanting to go into the military, your suggestions, your thoughts?
Do it. It 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 will actually change your life for the better. I can only speak for, U.S. military, but the benefits of signing just a mere 2-year contract, which is the absolute minimum, the benefits behind it, you can't beat them anywhere. You'll have, your somewhat health, not health insurance, but health support
Yep.
for the rest of your life. You'll be able, if a non-military person, say, wanted to go buy a house, okay, they're here in the States, they would have to come up with, what is it, 10 or 20% a down payment.
Yep.
Former military people have to come up with zero, using their veterans benefits. The best thing about getting in is, you can, like me, say, I'll use me. I got in as a military police officer. All right. I loved the job. It was great. I did that for 10 years. And then I started getting bored with it. So I was like, what else do we got out there? So I looked at a job and got certified in that for chemical weapons survival. And I started teaching that to other people, which kind of got me into the trade that I'm in now. So if you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life, get in the military. Because once you're in, you'll say, I want to be this. And if this isn't right for you, you can look for another job or a different job or even a different job. You can do that. And it's all on the military's dime to train you, not a college, but the military. They will train you to be the best that you can be. And when you get out, you can take those skills, like I have done, into the civilian world. And you don't have to worry about college degrees or trade schools or anything like that. You've already got it. You've got the knowledge.
Yeah.
Just to a couple of things back in the chat. Ross has said he won that it helps him recover, which is good. And then Shannon said she can say it changed her daughter's life, her benefits, medical, college, education, and travel. She also said, well, Chris, the down payment thing of zero isn't necessarily true. Depends on what you qualify for and how expensive the house is that you're purchasing, but it's still free. And she also says Shania did qualify for $30,000 down payment. So there you
See,
go.
I use my VA benefit, and I had zero down on, a $375,000 house.
Bloody hell. We can't find
So,
a house here for $375,000.
oh, I bet if you looked hard enough, you could.
No, the
Yeah,
average house.
shed. That would be a shed.
Yeah, that would be. The average
Yeah.
house in Australia is around about 1.1 to 1.2 million dollars.
Oh my God.
Aussie dollars, we're talking. Yeah.
I mean, maybe 370.
Either or, it's still just another reason you need to move to the States.
See, they want us to get there. But then if we go there, then we've got to put up with wanting to cruise every weekend. And
We won't move to Florida.
no,
That would be dangerous.
seriously.
Yeah.
And then we've got to go around to Chris's place for coffee and all that sort of stuff. I mean, Kelly's okay, but Chris, I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
He'll
that
move.
guy, I don't
He'll
know.
move when he knows we're coming.
That's my worry,
I
right?
don't have a Okay, Sean, I don't have a bougie coffee machine. Sorry.
We'll bring our own, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, do you
Tucked
think?
under our arm.
Do,
No,
do you think it will work there? They
better.
only get half the power. Come on, seriously.
Anyway,
240 works much better than 110, right?
correct.
Besides that, we've got to go onto the wrong side of the road.
That's true. That's the worst. Yes. Look for the steering
You'll learn.
there.
Shannon is going, well, you save on purchasing a house, you will spend on health insurance.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
Yes.
Michael Ann's saying a small house there starts at $300,000 to $400,000. Yeah, but
Yeah, things here are, well, we talk in Aussie dollars, so, what's 1.1 million in US dollars?
I can tell you
It's
if I do a
about-
transfer.
So about 600?
No, it's it's about
$600?
700,000.
1,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shannon bought a house for 167
Wow.
grand
Oh my God.
Wow.
in California. No, in
She's in
Chicago.
Illinois. Yeah. Which is actually a good deal.
It is a good deal.
Wow.
It's only money. All right. Now, heading
You
back
can't
on.
take it with you.
No,
No, it's
well,
true.
You can make other people's lives better with it. And that's what we're trying to do. All right. So, what's the next thing? The next thing is we just got to start getting some more funds in. Any ideas on what we start looking at in terms of fundraising to get people on board? I mean, we're looking at what, 50 grand or 100 grand to have the 10 recipients?
Well, I think right now what we were talking about is we need to put in the coffers, over the next year and a half, $50,000. That will cover the 10 recipients that we're planning.
Yep.
But a more comfortable number is absolutely 100,000.
Sure.
Because what if instead of just 10, we see that there's 3 or 4 or 5 others that are so absolutely worthy,
Yes.
and we say we're not going to do 10, we're going to do 15.
Why not? Go for it.
So I would absolutely love to do that, because if we have the extra funds, why not?
Correct.
That way we can impact and change that many more lives.
Correct.
And even the sheer fact of people who, well, once we know the itinerary and the ship and everything, I think that will help a lot. And the sheer fact of people wanting to join the group itself is a great help too.
Yeah.
All right. I need to come back in the chat very quickly. First of all, Shannon said that she bought a house during COVID where there was only a 2% interest rate, which was, we hate you for that.
That's helpful.
Yep. She also says she'll be collecting all the stuff for the silent auction this weekend.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shannon.
Okay, so, well, it sounds like we're going to be having a silent auction coming up. Okay. Is the average 5,000 per person, including a caregiver? The average is 5,000 per recipient because that recipient is always a dual occupancy. So,
Right.
in other
So it
words,
would
That
be
includes the cabin,
per cabin.
dual occupancy
Yeah.
cabin.
So, in other words, in Gabby's case, it was Gabby and her mum. In the case of James Catanese, it was James and Cindy that the cabin paid for. In the case of Kenny, well, Kenny went by himself, so basically it was him. Although technically speaking, he should have had some assistance to help out with some of the things that the board couldn't help out with. So mostly it's all about the person and their caregiver for what
Right.
yeah, so it's always dual occupancy.
Or travel companion. We could also call them a travel
Travel
companion.
companion. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All
may
right.
not
You could
need a
call it.
caregiver, but a
Yes.
travel companion. We would love you to have come with somebody.
Excuse me. I need a caregiver.
Yeah, well, you need to find someone who gives a care.
I walked into that one.
Oh, my hat's off to Alana.
Yeah. You know that Ilana doesn't give a ship.
I, hey, Sean, what I've learned recently about the 2028 cruise that I think is probably going to be really cool
Yeah.
is you've seen, I'm sure, the 1940s, 1950s calendar girls. I forget what they're called.
Yep.
Yes.
There's going to be a group on there that I've already spoken with,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they are going to be dressed in the 1940s, 1950s, doing photo shoots all week,
Oh,
Amazing.
wow.
and they want to meet as many veterans as they can because what they're going to do is the various photo shoots that they're going to do,
Yep.
in their period
Oh,
costumes.
how beautiful.
They are going to make a calendar,
That's awesome.
and
Pin-up model.
so
Thank you. Yes.
right. So they are so fired up about this that they can't wait. They go, we've got to meet a lot of veterans because that's what they do. They're veteran
Brilliant.
driven. That's their whole idea.
Do you know who I'm thinking about right now?
I know who you're thinking about. Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of a particular singer
Yes.
with their group? I'm
Yes.
just thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's just something else. Yes. Yep.
But yes, they will be on board.
Awesome.
It's giving us an idea.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My mind went exactly there too.
Oh well, we'll have to see what
It's
happens.
food for thought. Okay.
All right, folks. So
Amazing.
here we go. We've got this Heroes cruise coming up fairly shortly. By the way, Shannon says that's why she loves
Oh,
you.
okay.
All right. And Rice has gone and said pin-up models.
Pin-up, yes.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Okay, so we've got the cruise coming up in 2028. We know that NCL will be coming out with their itineraries towards the end of next month or towards the middle, we're hoping. And with that in mind, Bruce will be coming back with all the final bits and pieces. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have an absolute blast. I just need to see something very quickly. Yeah, so we're definitely looking forward to what goes next and what happens. Some fun bits with the cruise, some fun bits with people getting the experience and the exposure, the life-changing experiences. So it'll be awesome. Chris, are we advertising on any other platforms other than YouTube and whatever?
Right now, we've got the Facebook page, and I know Shannon is in the process of getting that updated. We are putting stuff out on our Facebook page. We have a TikTok channel if anybody's interested. And the YouTube, of course. So we're out there. Get out there, subscribe to everybody every single channel that you can get out to. Because and Sean, the more subscribers, the bigger the reach.
Correct.
Your stuff is pushed out even more. But we are trying to drop new videos as much as possible. We're actually, writing songs for, the Heroes Cruise. So you'll start seeing some of that stuff getting dropped. And I tell you what, two of the ones that I've heard already are just amazing songs. They're
Yep.
absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
So we got our, our little side band, doing the music for us.
That's good.
We write it, they do the music. Oh my God. And some of them are just incredible so far.
So, folks, please check
Great.
out the website, Helping Hands, the number 4 cruising.org. Please check it out. There will be information
Some
in
info
there.
there.
The information's always coming up. Nightbot was listening to me there, so Nightbot put it out. Check out the website, helpinghandsforcruising.org. And you'll have all the up-to-date info in there. I know that it's currently being updated as we speak. With that in mind, we've got just under 5 minutes to go, and I do have a couple of things that I need to sort out after this.
Shall we play Our Heroes Cruise?
We'll do that as the
As we-
head out. So we'll play that as we head out. Shannon is saying she's got things on her LinkedIn and at gym as well, so that'll be awesome. So with that in mind, Chris, I want to thank you very much for coming
Thank
on
you,
board.
Chris, for sharing yourself so beautifully with us.
Oh,
Shucks. Go on, say it.
yeah. Shucks.
And with that in mind, I want to just end off our show with the Heroes Cruise promo. But as well as that, folks, please be aware. Tuesday we'll be chatting with Shaun. If you've got any questions to fire off beforehand for that session, I'll answer them on the Chatting for Shaun, which will be at 8 p.m. Melbourne time, which is 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And then Hump Day with, I'll be doing a Hump Day with Jimmy at the Astute Tourist. And then straight after that, next week Friday, let's see what happens. Thank you, Chris. Hang
Thank you,
around for a bit.
Chris.
We'll catch up with you folks later. Take it easy
Thank
and
you for joining us today. Appreciate it.
keep on smiling.
Yep.
Backpacked in the hallway, boots by the door for one stay home. The calendar's finally empty, phone on silent, radio on low. You've carried strangers' midnights, stayed till every siren faded out. Today you're bored in sunshine, leaving all that weight on the dock for now. Helping hands for cruising puts the heroes on the wait. First to run into the fire, now you're sailing toward a change. From the station, from the front line, to an ocean-colored view. Helping hands for cruising helps the world say thank you to you. Salt air on your shoulders, coffee and a sunrise split the sky. The laugh line's getting deeper, talking like you finally got the time. Old scars, quiet stories start to loosen up around the rail. You remember how to breathe again with every gentle roll of the tailwind trail. Helping hands for cruising puts the heroes on the waves. First to run into the fire, now you're sailing toward a change. From the station, from the front line, to an ocean-colored view. Helping hands for cruising helps the world sing. Thank you to you for every night you never slept, every vow you always kept. This is more than just a trip, it's a little grace, a lifted grip. See the water, feel it prove, even heavy hearts can move. Oh, yeah. Helping hands for cruising puts the heroes on the waves. First to run into the fire, now you're sailing toward a change. From the noise and from the sirens to an endless sky of blue. Helping hands for cruising helps the world say thank you to you. Yeah, helping hands for cruising. This time the healing comes.